Good morning and happy Tuesday to everybody that watches this. And even if you don't, just sending good vibes out there. It's Tuesday and your girl gotta work. So today's gonna be a quick one, but the next one I will be filming like tomorrow so that it's a longer video for you guys. I feel like this whole week has been pretty much like a past life symbol filled week. Does that make sense? I've been getting so many little hints to like look into past life, or I've been getting downloads of about who I was in a past life. And let me just start out by saying I am sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. There's this website that my best friend sent me, and it like helps you calculate kind of like it's numerology, but it correlates to like your past life. So not like your life path number, because that's this life, but it's like last life. Anyway, so this is not the first time I've done like a past life regression or whatever, and I guess I'm supposed to be making this video in case you guys are starting to get into your past lives. But the thing is with past lives, you really have to make sure that you keep reminding yourself that you're in a new one, okay? And maybe that's just from experience like mine where, last life I was not the best person, and now I had to pay off a lot of shit that I've done in the last life, in this one, and I never understood why, and I'm like, what's going on, and blah, blah, blah. And it goes into, like, karmic things that have happened in my life, and for anybody who explores their past life, it will tie into anything karmic that you have going on or had going on, and it's basically just, like, a series of lessons that you have to learn, and the easiest part of it, or not the easiest part, but the thing that helps me get through it the easiest is honestly like grounding. You have to ground yourself extreme amounts. Cleanse yourself, like do baths or essential oils, lemon, drink it. I don't know. Just eat better, try to make better decisions, and try to think big picture, because it'll help out. So I'll tell you a little bit about when I first started getting into my past lives. Is when I was living on my own, and I couldn't hide from myself for the first time ever. So that was fun. Learned a lot. Cried a hell of a lot. Like so much. Like fetal position crying. Because you gotta let it out. So I'm just letting you know that that's normal. So let it out, boo. Also, you should get a journal. It's way easier to figure things out. I've written down like most of like the big moments of the epiphanies coming in, and it always helped. And usually I was like banging my head against the wall first before I was like, you know what, maybe I should write it down. So I'm telling you, if you are getting overwhelmed or you don't know what's going on, write it down and you might find out what's going on. And I hope that helps. Another thing is I feel like I've been triggered like so much, and like that the angry Cali in me is like, look, calm, or look at what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Basically trying to call attention to like whatever is pissing me off. But the higher part of myself is like, like Cali, like you just got things to do today, so just let's get those done, and then you could just go home and seclude yourself, and you'll feel a lot better. So it's knowing when to balance your health, your mental health, and knowing not to take on too much so that, you can regain balance and still have your health with you. And that goes again with the eating good. Make sure that you're drinking enough. It's something that I've been struggling with this week. I usually drink a hell of a lot of water, but I've been waking up hella thirsty, so I've just been chugging whenever I find that. Just remember to take care of like the basics, like food, water, shower, brush teeth, Literally anything. Anything basics. Like, what is going to help you take care of yourself? Like, you have to go back to basics in order to regain your strength. Because when you're focusing way too much on these outside things, or say you're going into past lives and you've gone down too many rabbit holes and you're kind of like stuck in that, it's so easy to get stuck in numerology, especially when you're learning. But knowing when to take a break is so important. And going out in nature is a great idea to get grounded. Like, make sure that you're like walking barefoot, or like you're touching the dirt, or you're just fully becoming one. Because usually when you're leveling up, like, you have to ground yourself. There's no way to get through it if you don't. And then also, while you're going through this past life stuff, make sure that you are also drawing boundaries with people in this life. And maybe you've known them in a past life. Maybe you haven't. But the thing is like, we have to learn these lessons for us. And a lot of people might not understand that. And that's okay. But we have to draw the boundaries in the best way possible without hurting anybody. Or if you do hurt them, and you had like the whole full intention of not doing that, then that's like another sign usually. So be careful for those situations, and know if it's hard to let go and it feels more like an addiction, it's karmic. So I hope that helps out, man. Like, notice you're upset. And it's all about acting and behaving in a more evolved way. So figure out who you want to be, and like what that person acts like, and what that person talks like, and what that person is like. What do they do differently? Like, what are you going to have to do differently in order to get into that consistent mind space of like being that future self of yours? Like, habits. Habits are huge. What are you doing in your routine that needs a little bit of improvement that helps you stay more on track? Like, calling yourself out and being that person for yourself is beautiful, but also it's hard because, you know, we know ourselves better than anybody else. So we have to be able to call ourselves out truthfully. And sometimes it makes us not like ourselves. And we should always like ourselves. Well, we should always love ourselves. We might not always like ourselves, but we should always love ourselves. So even if you find yourself doing something that you're not very proud of, make sure that you love yourself enough to kind of reparent that and see what you could do differently next time to get a better outcome. And make sure that you're hanging out with people that are good for you. Like, mentally, emotionally. If you find that you have a lot of the same coping mechanisms as your friends and they're not healthy, make sure that you're taking more time apart so you could figure out what will help you the best. And know that you don't have to have any guilt for creating some space just for the meantime. You don't have to like announce it.